Excellency, the Acting UN Resident Coordinator, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, the Chief of Defense Staff of the Ghana Armed Forces, chiefs of sister security agencies, service chiefs, senior security, heads of security agencies, the heads of UN agencies, representatives of the Veteran Administration Ghana, Name, Nime, distinguished invited guests, friends of the media, ladies and gentlemen. I wish to express my sincere gratitude to you for joining us for this important event to mark the International Day for United Nations Peacekeepers. This event, which is observed on the 29th of May of each year, affords us the opportunity to honor the memory of the United Nations peacekeepers who have lost their lives in the cause of peace, and also pay tribute to all men and women who have served and continue to serve in the United Nations peacekeeping operations with dedication and professionalism. Today's theme, protecting civilians, protecting peace, is very crucial in the sense that the year also marks the 20th anniversary of the first peacekeeping mission sent purposely to protect civilians in Sierra Leone under the United Nations Assistance Mission in Sierra Leone, UNASIL. Peacekeeping is one of the unique and dynamic instruments adopted by the United Nations to help countries, war-torn countries in particular, that are torn apart by conflict to recreate the conditions that would have led them to lasting peace. It is through the enormous sacrifices of peacekeepers that many people around the world are living with some measure of peace. The professionalism, dedication, courage of these noble men and women continue to contribute to the fulfillment of this enduring pledge to humanity. Distinguished guests, at this stage, allow me on behalf of the government of Ghana to express my deep sense of appreciation to the Ghanaian uniformed and civilian men and women who continue to make our nation and our country proud through selfless service during these peacekeeping operations. We salute these gallant men and women and encourage them to guard strongly our legacy in peacekeeping operations. Let me add that I wish also to express our deepest condolences to the families of fallen peacekeepers who have endured the pain of losing their relatives, losing their dear relatives, however close or distant for the cause of peace. Last year, for example, as already stated, Ghana had to endure the loss of two noble officers, Corporal Mercy Adade, a female soldier of the Ghana Armed Forces, serving with the United Nations Entry Force in Lebanon, and Assistant Commissioner of Police, Mr. Frank Sami Kofi, serving under the United Nations Africa Mission in Darfur. This year again, we lost one of our illustrious sons, Major General Francis Vip Sanziri, the United Nations Force Commander in Syria. The immense contribution and sacrifices of the families of these peacekeepers to the overall peacekeeping architecture, particularly of the UN, cannot be overemphasized. ladies and gentlemen, let us continue to remember them in our prayers. Distinguished guests, Ghana was one of the first countries to respond to the call of the United Nations to contribute troops to be deployed for peacekeeping. Our commitment to this obligation under the United Nations Charter is demonstrated by the constant deployment of personnel of the Ghana Armed Forces, the Ghana Police Service, the Ghana Immigration Service, and the Ghana Prison Service for UN peace operations since the early 1960s. This effort gained international recognition in the year 2015 when our dear country Ghana was ranked the 8th contributor of troops to United Nations worldwide, with a total of 3,247 peacekeepers, and the 4th largest contributor within the African Union. Ladies and gentlemen, today marks 71 years of United Nations peacekeeping. It is our duty to reflect on the achievements of peacekeepers that have led to relative peace enjoyed by many communities across the globe. This relative peace has come about because peacekeepers have adhered to the 3 basic principles that continue to set the United Nations operations apart as a tool for maintaining international peace and security. These principles are the consent of parties, impartiality, and non-use of force except in self-defense and the defense of the mandate. Furthermore, civilians and their protection is very central to peacekeeping operations. Providing a safe haven amongst conflict ensures stability within the individual nation's consent. And over the past decades, protection of civilians is increasingly becoming one of the key objectives for UN operations, and Ghanaian peacekeepers are contributing their quota to this objective. In Ghana, we are fortunate to enjoy relative peace compared to most of our peers on the continent. While our peacekeepers continue to make the nation proud through their selfless effort to uphold peace across the globe, let their sacrifice inspire us to jealously guard the peace that Ghana has been blessed with. Ladies and gentlemen, in celebrating our gallant peacekeepers who have served tirelessly over the span of 7 decades, let us remind ourselves that peace is a collective responsibility. Let us, therefore, work together and guard against any threat that would undermine the aspirations of our citizens and that of the rest of the world. Once again, all hail our peacekeepers. I thank you, and may God bless you all. Thank you.